Hi there, going to do an article review kind of, but more of a viral video review, which I'll do link in the descriptions, and if you like it, please subscribe. I'll tell you what it's about, and then I'll play the video, and then I'll give you my nonsense rambling commentary. So basically what this is about is it's an Australian incident which the driver in question videoed the incident, posted I think on Facebook or somewhere on social media, and it's had so far 1.5 million views, which is quite a lot. So you know, this is a viral video. I think it's newly released. Um, Basically, what the story is, the driver. Okay, well, basically what it's about is in a town in the New South Wales South Coast, so Australia, New South Wales South Coast. It seems like a very lovely country town. Basically, the local council fairly recently purposefully built a bicycle path, a cycling road, which you can see here, the white road. And that obviously costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. And despite the council doing that, of course, at the taxpayers, with the taxpayers' money of the local residents, some cyclists have continued to ride on the road. And in fact, in this case, we see two cyclists riding abreast of each other, so taking up the full width of the road and obviously causing an obstruction to anyone that would want to be driving on the road in either direction. So this guy, I guess he's a local, he actually drives on the cycling path, and he decides to pass on a few comments to the two cyclists in questions whilst he's driving past, and we'll listen to what they have to say to each other.
What's the point of us spending this money if you're not going to use it, you f***ing heads?
Hey, pull over so I can have a chat.
F*** off, you f***ing idiot. Use the f***ing bike track, you dumb cunt.
Yep. So that language is obviously, you know, shocking and offensive and all of this kind of thing. No, I'm being sarcastic there. It's not. It's totally normal language. These are words, and these are words that we all use. We're all fucking adults here, and we all use these words, especially in Australia. I think that's maybe even a little bit untrue. I mean, you use these words in England and other places too. So swearing like this, it's not as offensive as it may seem. It's pretty fucking normal. And to be honest with you, I feel that I've been in some very similar situations to this. And if I was the driver, you kind of get caught up in the moment. You know, you get the adrenaline running. You are frustrated at these people and everyone else that you've seen do the same thing in the past, and there you are calling it out, and you're not there to pussyfoot around. You know, you're there to call it out. So you know, yeah, you're hurling some aggression at these guys. That's what you're doing. So if he sounds aggressive, it's because, yeah, he's being aggressive. Why is he being aggressive? Because he's frustrated, and he realizes that he's right to be frustrated. And he is right to be frustrated. These guys, the two cyclists, are literally taking up the entire width of the pavement. They don't need to be doing that. They shouldn't be doing that. I would say that's illegal. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but I would say that's illegal. And they've got a fucking footpath that the council just spent presumably months or years arranging, developing, building at the taxpayers' money, the local residents' ratepayers' money. Um, and these guys just don't care. Why don't they care? Because they prefer to ride two abreast. And because they prefer to ride two abreast on the road, that's what the fuck they're going to do. Yeah? It's selfish. It is selfish. And it's not just these cyclists. It's a lot of cyclists. Years back, I used to see a lot of online comments, you know, railing cyclists in general. I was quite shocked by them, and I thought, well, that's a bit unfair. I mean, cyclists are allowed to use the road, but you know, more and more, I'm more inclined to agree, to rail against cyclists. And I don't mean your dad cycling to the shops, or the schoolboy on his way home from school. I don't mean those kind of cyclists, unless they're riding on the pavement. Those cyclists are generally fine. It's really these guys in the Tour de France get up that take this hobby or such overly seriously. Um, now they're entitled to do that, but really the problem is they take their hobby overly selfishly. Yeah, in this case, these guys are taking up the whole width of the road. In cases I've witnessed many times, cyclists on an ongoing basis are a danger to others within their vicinity. I used to go for a walk in a park, and there would be cyclists that would be allowed to be on the road, but they would be speeding much faster than the speed limit, where there are pedestrians on the road. So these cyclists, and there can be like half a dozen of them, or maybe even a dozen of them, in a pack, they zoom past at full pelt. I don't know how fast these guys go, 50, 60, 70 kilometers an hour. I don't know how much these guys weigh, but I mean, you know, what, 70, 80, 90 kilos, plus a bike, what, 30 kilos, whatever. And that's a danger to people. You know, it's a danger to themselves. I could give a fuck about that. If they fell off their bike, snapped their neck off, if they got decapitated, fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'd happily stand there watching that, frankly, nowadays. I say that just because, you know, these guys have endangered me so many times and endangered other people. And they knowingly and willingly do this, and they do so en masse. There are whole, you know, you have bicycle teams all over Australia, bicycle clubs rather, all over Australia. You have cafes with bicycle clubs incorporated, and en masse they will go and break the law somewhere. You know, they will go on a route wherever it happens to be, and they will go faster than the speed limit. They will break this law, that law. They will cause all kinds of endangerment, and they don't give a fuck. They're just in it for themselves. Yeah, it's a really sick, selfish hobby in my mind, or you know, exercise routine or whatever. Now they want to do this because it suits them. They feel it's their chosen form of hobby, it's their chosen form of exercise, whatever. That's fine. But if you're going to continue to infringe on other people's safety and well-being, which cyclists en masse do, then yeah, you're going to get viral videos like this. Now, I don't agree with the driver in question driving on the cycle path, and if it was something that was done on an ongoing basis, I would hope to see the driver to get punished for that, or other drivers if they do that on an ongoing basis. But at the same time, I wouldn't report this guy for that, because I know why he's doing it. He's doing it to have the opportunity to shame these guys, which he does so very aggressively. He shouts at them, he swears, and all of this. Um, but I think that's perfectly fine, frankly, because you know these guys are the guys that are in the wrong, and this guy here, he's doing a wrong as well. But he's basically just trying to show these guys up and say, "Hey buddies, hey fucknuts, stop being a bunch of fucking selfish cunts for once. You know, just stop it. You don't have to. You literally do not have to be riding two abreast, and you literally do not have to be riding on the road at all. You got a fucking cycle path. So use it. Don't fuck it up for other people, for other drivers. Yeah, just because you want to be a pair of selfish cunts. Yeah, so like I support the fact that this guy got angry and swore at these guys. I support the fact that these guys have got a little bit of shame about them, and I really hope that cyclists in general reflect and stop their selfish behaviour. That's what it boils down to me.